I can see if I graph it. You'll go through these, of course, with students, right? We're at the stage now of selecting and sequencing, right? That if I was going to select and sequence which ones there are, I need to talk about that table of values question, right? I think I need to talk about the graph. The ones that I think we need to talk about especially, though, are what's going on here. You know, because you're going to have a student who's pulling this out of their head, and you're going to say, what am I going to do with this? Does this one demonstrate that they have some algebraic thinking? Did you have a chance to look at this one? Sorry. Does it demonstrate that they can find where the no faces painted are?
Yes.
Yeah, because I can see it. They're all in these middles. So it's all about the middles. So they are one step away from building an equation for there. How many middles are there? Well, when it's a 3 by 3, there's 2 middles. And they are, when there's a 3 by 3, there's 1 middle. When it's a 4 by 4, there's 2 middles and they're too wide. There's an equation I could easily build. When it's a 5 by 5, there are 3 layers and they are 3 by 3. My algebra can be written up pretty carefully for that one. So when it's time to go 10 by 10 by 10, I'm ready to go. How about this one? There's no algebra on this, but are they ready to do it? Can you see where the 3 faces painted come from? Is it clear that a formula could be built that there's always 8 because this is where they live? Is there a formula obvious from this one that has 2 faces painted? There are 12 sticks. You see there's sticks, they're on the edges. How long are each of those sticks? There's a pattern there. If it's a 3 by 3 by 3, they're going to be 1 because I'm not including the edges because I already counted those. So I'm ready to do number of sides minus 1, and there's 12 of them. Minus 1 on each end, and then there's 12 of them. And this one as well. I've already counted all the edges and all the corners. Now I'm talking about faces, and there's 6 of them, and I know how big they are. I'm ready to go. So the algebra on this one is, like, we need to talk about it, right? So here where we go through the selecting, we've selected, we have to talk about a chart, we have to talk about a graph, we have to talk about some of these these pictorial ones that we as math teachers don't run to, right? Was there anybody else who built a picture like this? Yeah, great, thank you for your solution. We should be throwing yours up on the screen if my air server worked. And here's one that we got from yesterday. Can you see the algebra in this one? I have 1 face painted, and here I can see they're on the middles again. So the sequencing is next. How do we sequence then? What are we going to talk about? Is there a different order that we should have talked about other than I'm looking at the chart, then I'm going to the graph, then I'm going to the drawings, and then maybe, here's another one. Oh, where is it? Come on. This one. Don't you just wish you had this kid, a whole bunch of them in your class? Here's the table and here's the formula. Oh. Yeah, it might be what you have. Because we as math teachers go, if it's not algebra, it doesn't count. Right? But in the meantime, how do I take this picture and turn it into algebra? Because I can totally count it, and I know there are going to be folks in the crowd who say, yeah, I got those numbers, they look great, but where did those formulas come from? Really? They come from the picture.